I'm Shane Bishop from Garglen Brahman Company in Queensland, Australia, and I'm here with Brandon Cutrer from BR Cutrer Incorporated, the proud owner and breeder of Dutton, who we've just bought the semen rights in for Australia. So I've been lucky enough to spend a couple of days with you, Brandon, and in that time I've noticed that you've had a huge focus on fertility and good udders in your cattle, which is very important to Australia. So Boom Shakalaka and V8 100 over 7 seem to have incredible fertility records. So on the and Dutton all the way through his maternal side. So obviously fertility is very important to you, even though they're show animals. And
that's right.
You know, you concentrate and cull on that.
Mm-hmm. You know, if I could get away with it, I wouldn't show it all.
Yeah.
And but it's such a good marketing tool that we kind of have to, especially on those good quality cattle, and kind of get them out where people can see them. You know, we're very proud of our breeding program, and or at least the emphasis on the traits that we like to emphasize. And I think getting those cattle out where those traits can be highlighted is a good way to do it. You know, but of course, sometimes there's a stigma that goes with being show cattle. Yeah. But at the end of the day, they still have to be productive. They still have to be fertile. They still have to be sound in their feet and legs. And, you know, they have to, Brahmins are known for heat tolerance and longevity. If, you know, if their udders don't last long enough for them to live out that long life, there's plenty of other heat tolerant breeds out there that are willing to step in and take the place of Brahmin in a crossbreeding setting. Or even in a purebred setting in, you know, some of the tougher climates around the world. But so if a cow's udder only lasts for 5 years, what's it matter if she lives to 20 when you have to cull her from the herd?
Yeah.
But fertility, I know within our own customer base, on the commercial and the purebred side, probably the most important traits that we see would be fertility and structural correctness and udder quality.
Yeah.
And so really focusing on those has been paramount in our program, and something that we're always going to focus on. I feel like those are traits that will benefit not only us in our breeding program as far as having cattle that are sound and can travel and do what they're supposed to do, but also raise calves not only regularly every year in and out, but raise a fat bloomy calf while they're doing it.
Yeah.
You know, and then on top of that, having gentle dispositions and calf vigor would also be huge for us too. If we can get rid of those issues that have traditionally plagued Brahmins, I feel like we're on a pretty good track, and at least make my life easier as a Brahmin breeder, but at the same time be very useful to our customers as well.
Yeah. In Australia, obviously we're a small country in population, but we have some of the largest cattle stations in the world, which the Brahmin is most suited to. And a lot of those Northern Territory and Northern Australia cattle stations have tried other breeds and they just can't adapt like a Brahmin. But the simple things that we have to concentrate on is things like udders, because the last thing, you know, those guys need up there is calves that can't suck because they're udder.
That's right.
or they're a dummy calf, as we've been speaking about. So that's a huge focus in Australia now, having calves with plenty of vigour that can get up and suck, and the longevity of those udders. And we're very impressed with your donor females. Even though they're donors, they've had natural calves, and some have quite a bit of age about them. They're just still really perfect in the udder, especially that V8 100 over 7 has a little age on her now, and she's still very square in the udder. So that was a main inspiration for us, wanting to take Dutton home with those maternal type traits in him. And Boom Shakalaka's still, you know, quite young really, so she's got a long way to go, but a huge future in the industry. The other thing that we were very impressed with Dutton, you know, that cow, that 100 over 7 being so clean polled, we feel that we may get some polled calves by Dutton. That influence will come through, as you've spoken about. Noble can throw the odd poll. So in your future breeding program, you know, Sandra and I can see that what you're doing is going to suit us over there more and more. and it's it's a pleasure to come here and go through your cattle, which we will do again. But the amazing thing that we found about your cattle is the tremendous carcass qualities that we can't always find over there. You guys have some serious width and thickness and red meat to bone ratio in your cattle, and that just comes from years of selection.
Yes, like we were talking about earlier, some people might want to call them convenience traits of calf vigor and udder quality and structural soundness and all that kind of stuff. But if you have that as your basis and you get that down pat, then you can start adding the other stuff, adding more bone, adding more muscle, adding this and that. You get your foundation laid and then grow from there. And I feel like we really have done that, and it's extremely gratifying to me to know that not only the cattle work for us, but when other Brahman seed stock people around the world have noticed it and want to invest into our program, that it's really gratifying to me and helps me sleep good at night knowing that I'm doing something worthwhile.
Yeah. And I think, as we've spoken, that the JDH Elmo in Naval, I think that's why he's been so successful in Australia, is that huge carcass qualities that he's thrown to his cattle, but maintaining good structure and phenotype in his cattle. They're very good through the feet and legs as well, as is Dutton. We see Dutton as a longevity bull and very suited to the Australian market. So just in finishing, I'd like to thank you for having us over here and giving us the rights on Dutton, and we're very pleased to take him home, and here's to a good future.
I thank you. Thank you for the honor that you've given us by coming to look at him and liking him so much to invest in him. We thank you very much.
Thank you, Brandon.
Yes, sir. Take care.